It's like, no, I'm not yelling. I'm trying to taunt over your stupid point. You know what I mean? Because what you're saying is wrong. Just
believe me,
offensive.
I know what you mean. That's what you mean now. It's
You know?
taken me a while to get to that point of knowing that you're not mad at that.
I'm just strongly making you aware.
Yeah. Do you think you've gotten madder since you've gotten on TikTok?
I think that like if you don't, then you're not utilizing it the way it's supposed to be. Like for the good reasons that is because like honestly, I'm not kidding when I say that, and outside of like I'm not even talking about the the oppressive Israeli government occupation. I'm not talking about that. But I'm saying TikTok in general. I've learned a lot. Sure I've made food I think is delicious. I have learned facts about certain things I didn't know. I have seen cops look ridiculous or realize they do not know how to do their jobs because they do not know the laws. You know, it's like, it is a valid tool. It is good.
Excuse me, YouTube. I have to get my water. It's right around the corner.
Oh my God. Everyone. Hi, YouTube. Hi, YouTube. We are officially on YouTube. Not me forgetting we're on YouTube. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in to us on our YouTube channel. So sorry. Casey has been up and down. Hi, she's back.
So far, I'm back. I just had to get my water around the corner. I don't know. Are you talking emotionally up and down? Because I feel actually pretty good. Because a little tired. Other than that, I feel very good.
Are you emotionally up and down?
No, I'm emotionally stable.
Good.
Yeah. All right. Stable 40-year-old.
I love it. I love it. Listen, it starts getting hard around 44.
Yeah. Sorry we missed last week, YouTube. We were eating food.
Yeah. We had to, and our birthdays are so close together. There's a good, we need the week buffer.
We need a break. Yeah. Even Tony and I need a break from each other. Can you believe it?
I spent so much time listening last episode that I was exhausted. You know what I mean? It was so much of me listening.
I get it. Listening is very exhausting for you when I'm doing the talking. Seems that you can listen to TikTok nonstop, hours a day. Take it all in.
No, I feel bad how many times I scroll past that sweet lady that's like, don't you think you're doing this a little too much?
Is there someone on TikTok who does that?
Yeah, like if you're scrolling for too long, there's a lady just like, find yourself scrolling too much. Maybe go touch grass, you fucking loser.
How long do you have to scroll till you find the old lady?
I don't know. I go right over her. So. She's just become another ad to me, girl. I'm just like, whoop.
Yeah. Maybe they should lock you out. I think Apple iPhone 15, is that what you have now? 15?
Yeah.
They should put a feature on it where you can only do TikTok for a certain amount of time. Fuck free speech.
I would think that. Listen, I think that. Yes, people shouldn't watch it so much.
It's like Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House, when he watches porn, like an alert to get sent to his son or something like that. And so,
do you want to do that with TikTok? Do you want to like every time I get on it, it sends you a notification so that way you can share?
Yeah, like go touch grass, you fucking fag.
I mean, there's a good time. Listen,
I didn't mean to say fucking fag on YouTube. He's a gay person, and we say that of each other.
Who are you telling?
YouTube. I don't want us to get censored again.
Oh, listen, we never know what YouTube is going to be upset about one day or another.
I'm sorry, YouTube.
Anyway.
I'm sorry, Lord YouTube.
I'm like, well, anyway, this is my birthday show. The show
where
I will still listen. I will.
I don't want to talk. No, I'm tired. I don't want to talk.
Oh, she's so fatigued. I fucking woke up and I could feel the weight of the cross she was carrying in the text message. She's like, can we do this later? Oh,
I just was already exhausted from the notion of doing a Tony Soto birthday show, so this is me carrying my cross to the peak of Golgotha to die.
I mean, listen, it's the least we can do is make me feel appreciated one day out of the goddamned year. Hold on, I'm gonna put my cross down too. I'm ready to start. Are you ready to start?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna do a little 3, 2.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Gay Power Half Hour, the only gay podcast on the internet that's just like Tony Soto, because we are beautiful, hilarious, iconic, and soon to be 44 years old. It's been a long podcast with your co-host Casey Lai and birthday boy himself.
Hi, I'm Tony Soto, and you are very fortunate that I am okay with wearing my age. I'm fine. I can say the word. I can say the number.
You look amazing.
Thank you.
I can say the number.
Listen,
me too. 44. I can say it all day.
I know you can, but you could have barely said 40 when it was your turn. If we can all remember, she was fine. Remember, everybody, she was fine. That's what she said. We could feel her ass tighten with that. Fine. I'm fine, and I am fine because my skin is beautiful. Marry a poor. I went back home recently, and that always solidifies that that the money is well invested. So yeah, I'm feeling good about the age. Well, about the appearance of the look. I'm questioning some things.
What are you? Well, I just want to say first of all, happy birthday, Tony.
Thank you.
You are a joy of my life. I have cherished almost every minute that we've spent together. And even in the bad times, we have come out on the other side being even better. And that is a sign of a true friendship. And I would do almost anything for you.
Yeah. I mean,
with
look,
caveats.
We've come out and samesies. Yeah. The thing is, it's like, I think that overall, every conflict we ever had has been resolved. Like we've never left anything unattended. So I would say that next to like Luke and Darcy, you're the only people that I'm like, I can say that. You know what I mean? Anyway, thank you. Yes, I'm fine with 44 because I look good. I am not fine with 44 because I have recently been on a thought spiral where I'm like, what the fuck am I even doing? You know,
sure.
What I mean?
Sure.
Like, what am I doing with my life?
Sure.
Like, why am I still struggling financially? Like, what moves do I need to make? Is LA the fucking town?
Oh, wow.
Listen, it's been fucking rough. Well, because, I've been looking into the possibility of doing a dually with Mexico. If I can.
Have you talked about that publicly yet? I mean,
no.
Okay,
but I am now. So
okay.
and that doesn't mean look, I'm here for at least 5 more years. You know what I mean? For sure, at least 5 more years. But I have been looking at other avenues and directions that my life could take, because truth be told, living here is exhausting because we're imploding from the inside. And
America or Los Angeles?
America.
Okay.
The north here, this country.
Yes.
So it's kind of like one of those situations where it's like okay, so recently on the Tony Soto show, I know that you only talked about the other pod, but
I didn't like you say that. I have no problem.
But I've been talking about, like, we're boycotting boots, you know what I mean? And we need to be boycotting. Boycott is important. It works and it's good. And we need to be doing that. However, I've been showing some cracks because I have realized that I might be enslaved a little bit to the Disney Corp. You know what I mean? A little bit to the Disney Corp.
That's one of the corporations that I think that you have been enslaved to.
Yeah. And I was recently censored on the Instagram, because I was talking about I don't know why they.
You were?
Yeah. I posted a clip from the show last week about me being like talking about Disney, being like, it's hard. I like some things about Disney. I like the local news. I like Mark and Kelly. I like fucking The View.
But did you then call them genociders?
I think what it was that I posted a picture of like a fist in front of a Palestinian flag, and all corporations we should be boycotting at this moment.
Okay.
However, I was saying I'm not a Disney gay, And what it felt like to me, because it was fact checked from someone in Sri Lanka, that someone in Sri Lanka was like, "Oh no, this gay is that he is a Disney gay." So fact checked me and pulled that, and so now it's like protected over the thing.
Now okay. I actually didn't actually inquire about that, but I saw you had that post that had been.
And I'm not taking it down, fucking Zuckerberg, you son of a bitch, because I don't think it has anything problematic. It was me being like, so during this time where I've been struggling, trying to be a good consumer as I am, a knowledgeable consumer, suddenly I get a text message from my good Judy, Casey Lai.
That's me.
My best friend. I love him so much.
Thanks.
And he knows. It's not like he doesn't know that I'm a fan of boycotting and that I'm doing that. You knew. You motherfucker. And I get a text message from her, and she's like, I have a connect to get us 2 tickets to go to both parks of Disney for your birthday.
I'm sorry. I mean, it was straight up baiting you to make you make a bad decision in your life that I could use to blackmail you.
He might as well have also sent me a $50 Starbucks card, told me, followed by a Domino's pizza dinner right after the trip with Fanta sodas just splashing around, just fucking making sure, with Dove soap, so we're nice and moisturized. So, just a few companies you should be boycotting. So at that moment, I mean, like, look, we went to Disney. We went.
Well, yeah, let me, I did do that. And I wanted to get you a nice present. I wanted to get you the nicest present worth the most money that I could get you without spending a dime. And the thing that I could was acquire 2 free tickets to Disneyland and California Adventure, of which I knew that you had been to before and enjoyed, but also that I knew would be a problematic choice for you.
Yeah.
And if there's anything that I love doing, it's seeing you squirm just a tad and shake your fist and hem and haw. I'm just kidding, because that's not. I wasn't honestly. I wasn't fully thinking about the boycott when I sent it to you. And
typical
then you were like,
centrist cock.
Well, but
typical centrist cock.
But I mean, like, can we really talk about, like, you were like, you did hem and haw, and you weren't sure what you were going to do, but the condition on going was that you didn't take any I didn't take any pictures and post of you because you wanted to do it secretly. And I'm happy that we're not lying to the people. But I am interested. I know you did. You openly talked about it. But I want to know what your thought process is.
Well, look, here's the thing. It's like I bought a Chonga beer, and that was it at the park. And here's the thing:
he did want to buy a robot.
I did want to buy a robot. Yes. Let's just throw it all out there. I did want to fucking get a robot, and I couldn't do it because it was booked up. Yeah. But it's so funny that, like, no joke, Casey wanted to make it as cheap as her possible, because when she found out she had to pay $35 for parking, she about lost it. She brought it up like at least 2 other times in the park.
I was ready to turn around and go home. I told you my birthday present to you was the parking lot, and I didn't want you to buy that beer. I didn't want you to have to spend any money at the Disney Corporation. I thought that it would be a fair way of breaking a moral by not having to not actually spending any money, just going. And you should have stenciled Free Palestine somewhere.
I really should have. I should have had like a flag. I should have pulled it out. We should have walked by the Starbucks and been like, "There's blood on your hands." But in perfect Tony and Casey friendship fashion, we had a great time, by the way. I had a great time with you. I mean, like, truth be told, I had way more fun with Sadie Pines and Michael Brambilla.
Well, they're richer.
Because if you're gonna go to Disney and violate your ethics, you should go with Disney gays who really do it right. Because we didn't get nary a fast pass with Casey Lai, but we did well. We did single rider, which is actually, if that's something people don't know about, it worked.
Tell them. Well, let's not tell everyone because we don't want everyone rushing the single rider line. But I will
Right.
say, people don't like to spread up. The nice thing about Tony and I, we don't have to talk to each other to have a good time together. Which I know sounds crazy because most of the time, honestly, what we're doing is talking. So it's nice to have a break from it and just like, and look, I'm now equally as like, oh God, we're gonna get fucking canceled for going to Disney. And I don't love that, and I don't I don't know what to say about it.
Here's the thing. I in perfect Tony and Casey fashion, on the way back, we get into a discussion about, of course, the war and our feelings on it. And
well, I had a Diet Coke at 9:30, so I was revved up.
Right. And at one point, like you had said something to the point like, yeah, it's exhausted to be knowledgeable or something like that. Like it's exhausted. And I thought about that because like, look, I am and will always try to be informed consumer. And this trip was a lapse, I will admit it. But I had a good time, and I had a good time with my best friend. And what I realized on the ride home was like, yeah, it is really exhausting to be knowledgeable. It's fucking hard, and it makes you think constantly because it puts you at odds with your good friends too. And truthfully, I would like to go back to the days where I could just spend time with my fucking good friends and just fucking hang out with nary a worry. But like what we have now is just like everybody's broke. Nobody's fucking like it's there's just everything's so fucking bleak. And so it took me a minute to think. It was like, and I had a lapse of one of the fucking people that, we should be avoiding just for like a moment and an inkling of a good fucking time, because it is a good time at that fucking park. You know what I mean? It is a good time at that park.
And, I mean, maybe I'll get skewered for this, but I think you can go to Disneyland and not be a genocide supporter.
I mean, I think like,
well, that's controversial. Then fire. Fine, but one, we spent barely any money to go there.
Yeah. I mean, that's very true.
We did, but it was like it was a way. I mean, honestly, like it was a way to do something that I knew you would enjoy, and that I like, otherwise, like I don't have the means to give you something else equally as nice.
Right. And honestly,
now it has the tinge of, being,
no. And the thing is like, I walked away from that, but like when I talk about like going into like a thought spiral, like after all that, like I made peace with that. Cause like last night I was like, no, we're going to talk about it tomorrow. Like there's no need for me to like keep it fucking secret, because that just makes it weird. Like, yeah, because that makes it seem like it's bad if you really want a peppermint drink from fucking Starbucks. You know what I mean? And like you only get it one time a year. Like I understand. And to say that like it's inappropriate to have a lapse is judgmental, wrong, and it makes you one of the fucking wrong, the one of the conservatives, like one of the people who are like very quick to judge. We're humans, and we're fallible. And
we live in this world where honestly, it's like everything you're using or picking up or drinking or eating, like in order to be pure, you have to be vigilant, and you have to all these things, and I think that is next to impossible. So I think, again, like, there are sacrifices that you can make. And I'm not saying like, I'm not willing to die on the cross of Disney by any means,
Well, and also it's like, I also don't want to make, because here's the truth of the matter. And this is what it's like, I will always be vigilant. I will always root for the underdog, and I will realize that like my fucking inner turmoil about Disney is so much lesser than bombs being dropped on poor Palestinian people, and my cross is not fucking heavy. So like it's like I will like this was a lapse. I had a great time. I mean, like I'm back, whatever that means. But like, I don't know, it put a lot of things in perspective, because it's like I'm 44. It's like, drag is not lucrative for me anymore, truthfully. You know what I mean? And it's like, what does that mean? And I don't know. It's like questions I didn't think I'd be having at 44. Not that I ever thought I would be fucking established by any means, what with not having the correct rear end. But
well, I'm interested. And I just wanted to say, like I thought this would be a good way of starting a new tradition for us, which is every one of your birthdays giving you a moral quandary for your birthday. And that provokes an existential crisis. And I think that is like something you can always count on me for your birthday.
Well, you know what? It was nice to think about other things besides, because I do feel like I have been consumed, and I think that is important. I think that like dropping a ball on what is happening makes us fucking a part of the problem. And since our country is already wholeheartedly just backing who I perceive to be the enemy in this situation, I feel like I gotta be on top of it, but I also can be truthful to my humanness and be like, it is exhausting, because I feel like relationships have been strained. Like
it's like Trump. It's the beginning. It is what when you were talking about this, like the next year is going to be terrible, because we are going into an election year where not only are we as a country divided, and this is what it's going back to 2016, where the presence of Trump strained everything. Now, this is going to bring all of that back on top of the fact that the left side is strained, relationships are strained because of what's happening in the Middle East, and it sucks, and it's going to be a terrible year, and there's no clear end in sight. And there's a few things to be optimistic for, because the optimistic outcome is that someone that you have a major moral issue with, Joe Biden right now, could be the winner. Hopefully, I just don't even know. I don't even know what to think about it. So it's scary.
That's true too. So and it's like, and I have been thinking, because I'm like, I don't have faith in the American public for the most part to make decisions that are good for this country. I don't. And I feel like on top of that, so many things are stacked that it's like true progress will always go at a glacial pace. And that is frustrating for such an advanced society to be going so slow in certain situations. So that's why I've been looking, I'm like, do I want to stay in this country and like keep up this fucking racket? Because I don't think that we're meant to be a progressive country. I don't think the United States was ever meant to be a progressive liberal country. I think it's always meant to be, since it was founded by Puritans, that.
Well, I mean, the country wasn't founded by Puritans. No, it was colonized. It was colonized by Puritans in the beginning, but I wouldn't call like John Adams and a Puritan. I'd call. Anyway, the point is that I've always wanted to say this with love. I do think you should go home Mexican. I agree with you.
I do. I mean, it's
with love and take me with you.
It's like that's a culture. That's a part of my culture that like I would like to be more in tune with. It's like there's no reason why I couldn't do that. It's like when you turn 44, listeners, you start putting into perspective what have you really established? Like I haven't put roots here outside of like work and social. You know what I mean? Like I'm still in the same apartment. It's like I could go. That's, I think, what I'm saying. I could go.
Well, I always, if you just listen to podcasts and you don't watch YouTube, you'll see, you'll miss out the fact that what I always have in my background is a picture of painting of the Titanic going down, and I use that as a metaphor to know that no matter what, we're on a sinking ship, and so you should be wary of that, and also just kind of, into a certain extent, accept it. Also, when guys come over to have sex, I want them to know that it's time to go down. That's why I have that ship going down.
Or have a foreshadowing moment being like, maybe I shouldn't be in this
room. Flee. Okay. Get on the raft.
There's too few lifeboats.
Or for me, it's always like women and children get out, men stay.
And that's why I love you. All right. Well, listen, anyway, that was my fucking birthday rant nonsense.
Well, yeah, but also, I mean, I thought what I do love about you is that you are very you reflect on your life, you reflect on the things you said, and even though you do say a lot of things that you mean, and sometimes you get pushback on those things, and sometimes you really push back on the pushback, that you are someone who you do take everything to heart. And I'm not to burst a facade at all, but you are a sensitive person in a lot of ways, and that makes you stronger. Because you always come back. You are very well informed and an extremely passionate person, and I love everything about it. I truly love everything about you, Tony, and I am so thrilled.
I feel like
it sounds like 5 more years with you in this country.
I feel like white folks just want me to go to tears quicker or be like that, and I'm like, I'm not that.
You're hard.
Y'all cry too much, y'all too in your feelings, and you're all too like, y'all take everything as a personal attack when you are not as important as you think you are. So many people out there think that they are so important, and it's like, I mean, present company included. Like, I know I get on my soapbox but I do think that like I'm right. So if more people,
you're more important than a lot of people.
Oh,
I will say that.
Okay, well, listen, let's talk about
all equal and all deserve the right.
On my birthday, and since we took up so much time, I want to talk about look, I'm finally paying attention to George Santos. All right. Wow. We need to say it. She is a woman scorned. She has been insulted and ridiculed by her own party. And she's feeling slighted. And I'm going to tell you, if they fucking kick her at her job, she going to name names.
I think it's very clear that George Santos lacks a complete moral sense, and I think it's a complete sociopath. And as a result of that, don't fuck with a sociopath. They will fucking burn it down and laugh. Yeah. So, and walk away, move to a new country, and start a whole new identity and run for Congress there. And like, I'm really excited to see perhaps that will happen. I mean, I predicted it early on. I was like, this is the kind of guy who he can bring a gun into Congress, and I don't want that to happen. But I mean, we don't know what's going to happen with George Santos. She's the definition of a loose cannon.
It was interesting because before we started recording, you had said that she's like, well, she's a known liar, and she is a known liar. All right, Miss Santos is a liar. Like she can't keep her lies straight. That's why she got caught up.
Yeah.
So they're like, well, why? So who knows? The people will believe. And here's the thing: what I just want the world to know. Make no mistake, I have known a lot of lying gays in my day. I was a lying gay.
We were literally born into this culture to lie, to have to lie. Yes, so we had to learn how to not lie, because what our natural state was lying to you. And I hope you understand that when it comes to giving us a little bit of room to grow.
That is 100%. Like that is 100%. Like gays were forced to be liars. Queers were forced to be liars.
Yeah.
And look, that doesn't mean that they're all good liars. George Santos is not a good liar, and I think she's proved that plenty of times. However,
go ahead.
She is a slighted woman, and yes, her brain is a little cockeyed. So trust me when I say that lying faggot will speak the absolute truth when it comes to any shitty thing that she knows about any of her colleagues on the right. I promise you that whatever, if she says something about, because she already did, she was like, hey, listen, I'm not like them talking about what lobbyists they're going to try to fuck, or who they're going to get drunk, or how hungover they are, or if they're actually doing their own voting. Like, that is big T already. And she ain't even read a book yet.
We're going to need some receipts. We can't take her at her word, because no one will take her at her word. But however, that's the kind of person that is not a good witness in the court of law.
Very true. But I think that Matt Gaetz has fucking done things openly and disgustingly enough on that House floor that has been talked about by other Republicans, that it's like, look, and you know what? Like, because I remember a fucking old white hair was like, yeah, he was showing pictures of something on his phone. It's like if Santos knows that shit, if he knows, because here's the thing too, gays that fucking straight people don't care about, they ignore. So she could have been in that room, not just sitting there quiet. Like, and I was talking about this before we started recording too. The Republican Party and most of the fucking House, Congress, whatever, they know the fucking proper out gays. The because we have queer representation, but they quiet. You know what I mean? They have their little pride flag lapels bullshit, but they quiet.
Right.
Like George Santos is a true faggot. Like they got themselves a true queen. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And she is going to show them that there is a difference, like between these poor fucking not poor, but these queer fucking politicians that have been proper, and this messy faggot. So
George Santos is very relatable to our community, and I think it's honestly it's time he be raised up a little bit higher. No, I'm interested to see. I mean, like I'm not convinced they're going to expel him. Also because he said he's going to resign, and are they willing to lose a vote? You know, I don't know. So what is fully going to happen?
Wait, when did he say he was going to resign? I thought he said he wasn't going to resign.
A couple of days ago, or within the last week, he did release a statement saying, "I'm going to. I'm not. Sorry, running for not resign. Sorry, not run for re-election." And I think that's enough for them because they're not going to. Because there could be there will be a special election, and even though George Santos won, which is still just hilarious to begin with, so it does prove he was actually a pretty good liar. Because he got into Congress on lies, and that's pretty solid, you know. Well, Trump, because Trump lied his way to a presidency, but he came from nothing and made himself. Trump, let's be fair, George Soros is better than Trump because he grew up poor. Trump had everything.
Well, but I do want to say because there was local news during his campaign and election that was trying to break stories that he was a liar, and nothing took nationally. So when we found out, all surprised about George Santos' lies, there were people there being like, "That's what we have been saying."
Yeah, but it was like a special election could be done and Democrats could win, and like that's something the Republicans do not want to happen because that would have their margin be even less. And so I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm interested to see what he's capable of doing. And what he actually knows, because also I kind of disagree. I feel like everyone has been so wary of him. Like no one's ever sitting around him, like I feel like even Republicans are like, we can't trust our freakness with
that. Doesn't mean that he's not the kind of freaky gay that's gonna fucking live in the corner, girl. She's a loomer. Listen, she's a walking creep. But here's the thing, that walking creep, I'll read her book. You know whose book's not getting read? Marjorie Taylor Thomas or Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Taylor Thomas, mother of Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Marjorie Taylor Greene. Her book is a flop. Like the Republicans aren't even doing like a fucking mass buy of it, trying to give it away to fucking like cult members. Like that's a beautiful thing. It's not a good time for conservatives right now. Kyle Rittenhouse is broke.
Bookhouse wise.
Derek Chauvin got stabbed.
Derek Chauvin got stabbed. Honestly, back in the day, that would have been our lead story. I miss those days.
Well, truthfully, I'm going to tell you, like this is how they meant it. It is not easy to get a stabbing in when they are in isolation for 23 hours out of a 24-hour day. Like, make no mistake that stabbing, there were people involved in that stabbing. That's all I'm saying. Like, there's no way like that someone looked the other way. I feel like someone looked the other way.
You don't. I mean, it's pretty well known that cops don't fare well in prison. Especially, bad cops, especially the most notorious killer cop of the last 100 years goes to prison. He gonna get stabbed. I'm surprised he didn't get stabbed fatally yet. And I don't wish for anyone's death unless they're George.
But look, we don't have any control what happens.
Derek Chauvin. Yeah.
That's a whole different world. We're not in that world,
No, thank God. At this point, neither of us have ended up in full incarceration.
I don't intend to.
I don't either.
Well, anyway, we've come to the end of the show. Look at that. 44 years in the tank. Time to throw in the towel.
44 years of this podcast in the tank. We've done don't throw in the towel. Don't throw in the towel. You're doing the Lord's work. And I will say this, what you should do is read whatever Lisa has sent you, because I had my chart read by our dear friend Lisa Chanou, and it filled me with hope and feeling of optimism for the future, at least for me, because there is a planetary alignment that's about to kick in for the next 20 years that's supposed to look real good.
Yeah, that's what turns out my spiral.
The first 40 years were murky. Pluto made things very murky for me, and I'm ready to emerge from the murk. And so I think that you should look to see what your solar return is going to bring you, and I'm sure Lisa will give you some deep dive into the future that will either be good or bad. And if it's good, you should really lean into that, and if it's bad, you should just give up.
On that note, Casey, tell me how you're not giving up yet. Are you doing anything?
Not dead yet. Yeah, you can see me at Permanent Records in Glassell Park on December 7th. I'll be at the Popular Kids Club show. Great show. Come to that show if you want to see. I'm a great lineup. I'll be there. Tony won't, because he's hosting a show, but judging a show.
I'm going to be at Redline.
But sometimes we don't need to hang out.
I don't have the details on that.
And you can follow me on Instagram, Casey Ley.
Yeah, follow him on that stupid Zuckerberg app, you son of a bitch.
You're on
Zuckerberg, uncensor me. Y'all, if you like to know what I'm doing in drag, go to Tony Soto Productions, because that's where it's all posted. If you like to see just what I'm doing, the Tony Soto Show on Instagram and TikTok. It's my birthday show, so if you want to send me some money, that's the Tony Soto Show on Venmo or PayPal. Why not, right? Get it in there at the end.
Oh, and if you want to be like people in my life and give me a present on Tony's birthday, like they gave Tony presents on my birthday, my Venmo is Casey-Ley.
See, she gets hers into
Casey-Ley. Money. I gotta start planning your next birthday issue.
Let's never talk about it again.
It's not your birthday yet, by the way.
No, December 3rd.
So you have several days. It's like a wedding. You have several days before and after to send the gift.
How long after a wedding do you have to send a gift?
I think a year. Oh, you have a year.
I have a friend who got married, and anyway. Right. Bye, guys. All right.